Good evening, students. So in this video, I'll explain interim dividend. Okay, so important topic: interim dividend. Who can declare interim dividend? What are the sources for payment of interim dividend, and what is the timing for interim dividend? Okay, so first we'll look at the sources. Authority for declaring interim dividend. Authority for declaring interim dividend. That is to say, who can declare interim dividend? Who can declare interim dividend? The authority for declaring interim dividend. The authority for declaring interim dividend is board of directors. Okay, it is the board of directors who can declare interim dividend. Next, timing. When the interim dividend can be declared. Timing. When the interim dividend can be declared. So there are two time limits when the interim dividend can be declared. So first time limit is during the current financial year, during the relevant financial year, during the relevant financial year, but after during the relevant financial year, but after AGM of the previous financial year. During the relevant financial year, but after the AGM of previous financial year. After the AGM of previous financial year. This most of the students don't know how to calculate this time limit. I'll explain here with example. During the financial year, but after the AGM of previous financial year. Next, after the end of relevant financial year, after the end of relevant financial year, after the end of relevant financial year, but before the date of, but before the AGM of relevant financial year, but before the AGM of relevant financial year. Okay. say for example financial year 21-22 has already been completed. Financial year 21-22 has already been completed. So if I take this year, financial year 21-22 has been completed. So if I take 1st April 21, 1st April 21, then 31st March 22, 31st March 22. So this is the relevant financial year. Relevant financial year, I'm taking 21-22. In this relevant financial year, I have to take the date of AGM of the previous financial year. AGM of the previous financial year. Example, say 1st September, say 20th September 2021. I'm taking the example. I have taken the example. 20th September 2021. This is the AGM for the financial year 2021. Sorry, for the financial year 2021. 2021 financial year is completed for the 2021 financial year, that is the AGM. So therefore, whatever the dividend I declare, so this dividend, interim dividend declared after this AGM, but before this is the relevant financial year. This is the relevant financial year. So during the relevant financial year, but after the AGM of previous financial year. Okay, whatever I can, whatever the interim dividend I declare, so interim dividend for the financial year 21-22. Interim dividend for the financial year 21-22. And for this financial year, say for example, I conducted the AGM. Okay, example somewhere on 30th September 2022. 30th September 2022. Sir, what is this 30th September 2022, sir? AGM for the financial year, AGM for the financial year 21-22. AGM for the financial year at 21-22. So during this period also, I can declare interim dividend. Interim dividend for the financial year 21-22. Interim dividend for the financial year 21-22. So this pertains to interim dividend for the financial year 2021. That is interim dividend for the financial year at 2021. So this is how we have to calculate during the relevant financial year, but after the AGM of previous financial year, after the end of relevant financial year, but before the AGM of relevant financial year. So this is the timing of the interim dividend. Okay, so two timings you can declare, not only during the relevant financial year, but also after the end of financial year, but before the date of AGM. Similarly, whatever the interim dividend, whatever the dividend declared during the 2021-22, that entire dividend does not pertain to 21-22. Some dividend pertains to 2021 also. So whatever dividend I have declared during this 21-22, entire dividend does not pertains to 21-22. Out of this, some portion pertains to 2021, some other portion pertains to 21-22. Not the whole dividend, I cannot take it as 21-22. Only this portion is 21-22. This portion belongs to the previous year. Like this portion belongs to 21-22 after the end of the current financial year. Okay, right. So this is how the timings for the interim dividend. And next, sources for payment of interim dividend. What are the sources which I can use for payment of interim dividend? Okay, sources for payment of interim dividend. Sources for payment of interim dividend. So first thing is profit and loss account balance. Profit and loss account balance. Profit and loss account balance as on the beginning of the relevant financial year. As on the beginning of relevant financial year. Profit and loss account balance as at the beginning of the relevant financial year. Profit and loss account balance as at the beginning of the relevant financial year. Okay, so this is one source I can use. Second source I can use is profit earned during the relevant financial year. Profit earned during the relevant financial year. Profit earned during the relevant financial year. So this also I can use. This also I can use for payment of interim dividend. Profit earned during the relevant financial year. And third category which I can use is profit earned after the end of relevant financial year. Profit earned after the end of relevant financial year. After the end of relevant financial year, but before the but till the quarter ending preceding the date of declaration. But till the quarter ending preceding the date of declaration of dividend. But till the quarter ending. But till the quarter ending. But till the quarter ending preceding the date of declaration. But till the quarter ending preceding the date of declaration. Okay, but till the quarter ending preceding the date of declaration. Profit earned after the relevant financial year, but till the quarter ending preceding the date of declaration. Okay, so these are the three sources I can use. So therefore, if I am paying dividend, say I am paying dividend somewhere on 25th November 2022. I am paying dividend on 25th November 2022. So this is the date of interim dividend. Date of interim dividend. So date of interim dividend at 25th November 2022. So to this interim dividend, what are the sources I can use? What are the sources I can use to this interim dividend? One source I can use is profit and loss account as on 1st April 2021. I can use profit and loss account balance. P&L account balance as on 1st April 21. Next, financial year 21-22 whole profits. For financial year 2020, 21-22 whole profits. And before this date, what is the quarter ending? Q2 has ended. Okay, Q1 is when? Okay, Q1 is April to June. Right. Q1 is April to June. Okay, so Q1 is April to June. Okay, Q1 is April to June. Q1 is April to June. I am declaring dividend on say 25th November 2022. I am declaring dividend on 25th November 2022. So Q1, what is the quarter ending? So Q1 is April to June. Q1 is April to June, quarter one. Quarter two is July to September. Quarter two is July to September. Quarter three is October to December. This everyone knows. And quarter four is January to March. Quarter 4 is January to March. Now, if you look at this aspect, 25th November. So before this date, what is the quarter ended? Before this date, here somewhere November lies here. Somewhere November lies here. So therefore, before quarter completed is Q2 is completed. Q2 is completed. So financial year beginning till the Q2 ending. Financial year beginning till Q2 ending. Financial year beginning till Q2 ending. Okay. So financial year beginning till Q2 ending. So okay, therefore 1st April 22, 1st April 22 to 30th September 22. 1st April 22 to 30th September 22. This profits also I can use. So to declare interim dividend on this date, so interim dividend this date, interim dividend is related to financial year 21-22. Interim dividend related to financial year 21-22. Assuming AGM is not yet conducted on this date. So financial year 21-22. Okay. So therefore, whatever the balance, financial year opening balance 1st April 21, opening balance of profit and loss account, profit and loss account, 1st April 2021, opening balance profit and loss account. Next, April 21 to March 22. April 21 to March 22, profits earned. April 21 to March 22, profits earned. Next, April 22 to September 22. April 22 to September 22 profits. So these are the three sources I can utilize. To pay the interim dividend on this date. These are the three sources I can utilize. Okay, these are the three sources I can utilize to pay the interim dividend. Now, the concept is, if at all I have incurred loss during year, assume if I have incurred loss and I want to pay dividend out of these two sources, then average rate will be applicable. Then average rate restriction will be applicable. So whatever the dividend declared during the 3 preceding years, I should not pay more than the average of that. Okay, so if at all the third source, there are 3 sources for declaration of interim dividend. Out of the 3 sources, if I declare interim dividend from the first 2 sources, then I have to subject it to average rate reduction. If I am declaring dividend using the third source, if the third source is profit and I am declaring dividend using the third source, then no restriction is applicable. If the third source is profit, what is the third source? April 22 to September 22. If the third source is profit, I'm using I'm declaring interim dividend using the third source, then average restriction is not applicable. But on the other hand, if I'm declaring dividend using the first 2 sources, then average rate will be applicable. So how we will calculate the average rate? So dividend of a particular financial year is equal to dividend of particular financial year is equal to, okay, dividend of year 4. Dividend of particular year is equal to year T is equal to dividend of T minus 1 plus dividend of T minus 2 plus dividend of T minus 3 plus dividend of T minus 3 divided by 3. This is the rate applicable. So if I am declaring dividend for the financial year 21-22, then T minus 1 will be 20-21. This will be 19-20 and this will be 18-19. This will be 18-19. So if I am declaring interim dividend for the financial year 21-22, I have to go back and take 3 years dividend and I have to do the average. Okay. And I have to do the average. Okay. Right. Next. Okay. And I have to do the average. This is applicable when this third source has a loss. If this third source is a profit, this restriction does not apply. If the third source is a profit, that restriction does not apply. Okay. So interim dividend, who can declare? Authority, board of directors. Timing during the relevant financial year, but after AGM of previous financial year, after the end of relevant financial year, but before the AGM of relevant financial year. Next, these are the 3 sources. Okay, these are the timings and sources. 3 sources: profit and loss account balance at the beginning of the relevant financial year, profit earned during the relevant financial year, profit earned after the relevant financial year, but till the quarter ending preceding the date of declaration. These are the 3 sources I can utilize for payment of interim dividend. Next, after declaring interim dividend, we have to deposit. Depositing of dividend, that is applicable to both interim and final. Depositing of dividend applicable to both interim and final. Depositing of dividend applicable to both interim and final. Depositing of dividend applicable to both interim and final dividend. Okay, so when to deposit within 5 days of declaration. Within 5 days of declaration. Next, where to deposit? Where to deposit? In a separate account maintained with SBI, State Scheduled Bank. In a separate account. In a separate account maintained with Scheduled Bank. In a separate account maintained with Scheduled Bank. In a separate account maintained with a scheduled bank. So this is what I have to declare. And what is the exception? Exemption. Is there any exemption from this? Yes, there is an exemption. To whom the exemption is applicable? Wholly owned government companies. Wholly owned government companies. Wholly owned government companies. That is to say, government companies in which 100% paid up share capital. 100% paid up share capital is held by 100% paid up share capital is held by central government, state government, or other government company. Okay, central government, state government, wholly owned government companies, not wholly owned subsidiary. Don't consume wholly owned subsidiary. Wholly owned government companies, maybe owned by central government or state government or other government company. Okay, so wholly owned government company. So for this company, this depositing requirement is not applicable. For this company, this depositing requirement is not applicable, and this is applicable for both interim dividend and final dividend. Applicability, this depositing requirements is applicable to both interim dividend as well as final dividend. Okay, this is applicable for both interim dividend as well as final dividend. Okay, so this is all about the interim dividend. There is all chance of getting a numerical based question in the examination asking for the dates during which we can declare interim dividend for a particular financial year, or what are the sources I can utilize to pay interim dividend for the particular financial year. So this is the summary of the question. Timing, when, who can declare? Board can declare. Okay, what is the timing? During the financial year or after the close of the financial year, but before the AGM. What are the sources? These are the three sources that can be utilized. And what is the rate? Maximum rate. Remember, if the third source is lost, then only the maximum rate will be applicable. Okay, so this maximum rate. So this restriction is applicable only if it is a loss. Only if it is a loss. Out of three sources, if the third source is lost, then only the maximum rate restriction will be applicable. Remember, if the third source is profit but inadequate, you are utilizing, say for example, third source we got 2 crores profit, but I want to pay dividend of 10 crores. Third source profit is 2 crores. I want to pay dividend of 10 crores. Then obviously remaining 8 crores I'll utilize from these two sources. Then restriction is not applicable. This restriction is applicable only if the third source has loss, not inadequate. That is for final dividend. That is for final dividend, loss or inadequate profits. So here only loss, not inadequate profits. For the final dividend, loss or inadequate profits. Here there is only loss, not inadequate profits. Very, very important point. So here there is a profit of 2 crores, but I want to pay dividend of 10 crores. Therefore, I am utilizing these two, but this restriction is not applicable. This restriction is applicable only when the third source is a loss. Only when the third source is lost. And this is a deposit, separate account within 5 days, ratification. So this is what given in the board materials, that interim dividend shall be ratified, given in the board materials. See, both CA Institute board materials and the CMA Institute board materials, both the board materials, they have given this topic, but according to me, no such ratification is required. Once declared, it is final. Once declared, it is final. Nowhere in the act they are saying that ratification will be required, but since they have given in the board materials, I'm supposed to give in my material also. So, but according to me, not necessary. Okay, right. So this is all about the interim dividend, and this is the depositing of dividend. This also have declared entire paid up share capital is held by central government or state government or one or more government companies. Okay, so that's all with the interim dividend. Remaining topics we'll discuss in the next class. Okay, thank you.